What's going on, y'all? It's Locks. Today we got another prize picks video for you guys. In today's video, we got the NBA player props for this Monday, May 26th NBA slate. We got game 4 of OKC Thunder versus Minnesota Timberwolves. Should be a pretty solid one. Series is currently 2-1, so again, it is a very big game. They either tie it up or go down 3-1, so it should be pretty competitive. Last game was a blowout, and unfortunately, that's what sold our last video we gave you guys. We gave you guys Nas Reed, that player of the day. He had 10 points like at halftime, and then again he just played like 2 minutes the whole second half, and his line was at 11.5 or 11 even. So again, it kind of just sold right there. And then our other player, Alex Caruso, he was going crazy at the start as well. I believe we took his Goblin line at 7.5 points and rebounds. He had like 5 at halftime, and then just didn't play a single minute in the whole second half due to that blowout. So again, kind of unfortunate. It was looking solid to begin with, but again, can't do nothing about a 40-point game. Obviously, these players aren't going to be playing their full minutes, but hopefully this was a better game, pretty close, closer at least in my opinion. It should be compared to what we saw last game. So hopefully it is, and hopefully these ones cash out for us. I have a good feeling on these ones as well. So before we get those, make sure to drop a like and subscribe with those post notifications turned on to really help me out. Dropping that like just goes a long way, and it literally takes 1 second down below. So it'd really be appreciated if you guys could do that for me right quick. And if you guys haven't joined already, we got that free Discord link, and link is in the description of this video. If you guys haven't joined already, again, completely free, just where you post announcements, extra player props, and all that good stuff. So again, it will be down below right there. But with that being said, we're gonna go and hop right to the props I like for this game right here, game 4 of this matchup. We're gonna be rocking with our player of the day, Jaylen Williams. Haven't really rocked with this dude a lot throughout the season, but this is a game that I really like him over his 39.5 fantasy score. Obviously, last game he only had 16. He only played 24 minutes though, so again, minus 25 minutes. He's definitely not going to be able to exceed that much fantasy score. But if we look at the first 2 games of this series, this dude played 33 and then 39 minutes. This game was kind of a blowout, but whenever it was close, he damn near played the whole game. In both these matchups, 51 and 48 fantasy score, going almost 20 over this line both of the games. So again, as long as this game's relatively close, we see 30+ minutes out of this guy. Again, I feel like this line should definitely be an easy one for him to cover, like we saw in the first 2 matchups. So again, this one is just way far under, and even probably like lowered the line a little bit just due to that poor performance. But again, the whole team didn't really do much as a whole, especially the starting lineup due to that blowout. And if we look at him throughout the regular season, he covered this line 4-4, or what is it, 2? I think he split, yeah, however many games these were. But the last 4 alone, the last 2 of the regular season, the more important ones, he definitely did cover those ones easily. So again, that's what we like to see. But unfortunately, this 40-point game, obviously, like I just mentioned, it's not going to happen there. But I believe this should be another bounce-back game for Jaylen Williams. His shot attempts have been solid throughout the whole playoffs. He's been on an upward streak, 16, 17, 18, and 20, and then this one 9. But despite that, I expect it to go up at least like 18+. And then his rebounds, steals, all those good stuff. He's been averaging like a crazy amount of steals and rebounds and assists. So if you guys know prize picks fantasy score, those are worth like 1.5, I believe, or 1.4, 1.2. I don't really know like the exact scoring off the top of my head, but they're definitely more than just 1 point on the fantasy score. And so again, he's been doing his thing. If we go to the let's go to the PRA actually, just to give you guys example, his potential rebound chances, he's been averaging 11 a game, potential assists been averaging 10 a game, and then shot attempts taken 16 on average. And then if we go to the steals, blocks and steals, he's actually been getting a good amount, which actually goes a long way in fantasy score. They don't really like show the opportunities right there, but in this series alone, his first game he had a total of 5 steals, which is crazy. This game, they didn't really do much crazy for him defensively, and obviously he got blown out this way. But I could definitely see him getting a lot of steals and blocks in this matchup. Again, bounce back, super important game. But without further ado, player of the day in today's video is going to be Jaylen Williams over that fantasy score right there. So if you guys don't take anything from the videos, I'd always recommend player of the days. And in that case, we're rocking with this one right there. So that's going to be our first player on today's video. Our second player on today's video on the other side of the ball, we're going to look at Julius Randle over his points line. We took him in game 2. This game, he unfortunately flopped. This game, he just had a super poor shooting performance. The first half, I believe he was like over whatever, and then the coach kind of just sat him the whole rest of the second half. And I'm not sure why. The game was pretty close going towards the end, but again, they just kind of blew it in that third quarter, and then the coach just really didn't play much at all in the second half. So again, that was another minute situation right there. But outside of that, his last 10 games, he's been super consistent in the whole playoffs. He's been a walking 20 piece for these guys, just really performing well. He's been averaging 36 minutes a game, and whenever we typically see like 32 minutes plus at least from this guy, we'll definitely be seeing 15 points. Now, this is the Goblin line. His normal line was at 18.5. I feel like there's just a little more leeway that for him to get 15 points than almost 20 points. For example, his last couple games against these guys, he's gone 3 out of 5. Now, these ones, this game was during the regular season. I'm not sure what happened there, but obviously we know what happened in this game. Again, he just had a terrible shooting night. But other than that, he's been doing his thing pretty consistently. I'm not going to expect another poor shooting performance out of this guy, especially if he's taking this much volume, 17 shot attempts a game, and you only need 15 of those points to come from those. Again, I feel like that one's a pretty good chance of him hitting that one. So we're going to be rock with that one. And then if we look at OKC defensively, obviously they're top 3 defense in the whole NBA, but the small forward and power forward position is definitely their weaker points. Even though they're still solid against them, that's where they give a good amount of their points to, which Julius Randle does play offensively. That 3 and 4 spot, they give a combined total of 40 plus a game. So again, 15 points out of those 40 points I could definitely see coming from Julius Randle, and I'm expecting it to be again throughout the whole playoff so far. More than half of those are usually from this guy alone. So gonna be rocking with this one as our second player, and I believe on other sports books this one's like minus 300, almost minus 400 on sleeper. So again, this one should have a good chance of hitting, and hopefully he just doesn't flop like he did that other night. So Julius Randle over that 14.5 points. Oh, what is happening? 14.5 points. That is our second player in today's video. And then with the last and final player, we're going to rock with SGA over his assist line. Now, this is the Goblin line. They took down the normal line at 6.5, I believe it was at the beginning. Still like this value at 5.5, though. I feel like this one has a pretty solid chance of hitting. Last 10 games, he's covered this line 90% of the time. So, again, it should be a freebie. He's been averaging 17 potential assists. His minutes, obviously, have just been crazy despite this game because, again, it was a blowout. 27 minutes, though. But typically, whenever it's a good game, he'll see 35 plus minutes guaranteed, and in those games he'll definitely see like 15 plus potential assists. This is Team Minnesota Timberwolves, who are pretty solid against assists, but again, just the amount of volume and offensive use that Shea has the ball in his hands. I feel like 6 assists against these guys is pretty easy, no matter who it is. They're ranked 11th in assists allowed to opposing point guards, giving around 8 a game. And again, majority of the time than not, Shea is going to have the ball in his hands during this offensive scheme. And typically, they like to run that little dish and drive and dish out. So as long as his teammates are knocking them down for him, I believe Shea should be able to get 6 assists easily. Again, if you're seeing 16 potentials and you only need 6 of those, again, the odds for this OKC teammates more than likely should be able to cover for him. And then next is a very good resume against the Minnesota Timberwolves. He's gone over this line in 6 straight games against them, swept in the regular season, and then the first 3 games of the series, he covered this line easily, 9-8-6, and then regular season 9-8-8. All of them were very similar potential assists. So again, that's what we'd like to see right there. And just he typically sees a lot of minutes played against these guys whenever it's a good game, like I mentioned. So hopefully it is another one and not a 40-point blowout. But Shea, I'm pretty confident in him in getting those 6 assists right there. So he's been our last and final player in today's video. Shea over that 5.5 assists, one of the normal line, but again, you're going to have to rock with the Goblin because price picks took it down. But these are my 3 players I'm rock with for this Monday, May 26th NBA slate. Again, Jaylen Williams is going to be the player of the day. 39.5 fantasy score. Second player, Julius Randle over that 14.5 points. And then last and final player, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander over that 5.5 assists. So you guys can mix and match these however you guys want to. I'm be rocking this 3-man personally. I believe these ones should have a good chance of hitting. So again, from the information breakdown that I gave you guys, use whichever picks you want to use. I told you guys my favorite one. So yeah, that's pretty much all I got for you guys in today's video. Again, please drop that like and subscribe down below if you guys haven't already. It really goes a long way on the content. I don't charge for picks at all. Never have for like the last 2 years. So again, it would just be greatly appreciated if you guys could do that for me. But that is pretty much all I got for you guys in today's video. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching, and let's see you today.